My name is Andrew Nordine and I live in New London, Minnesota. I'm an abstract painter. One of the underlying things that's happened in the sort of 10 years since that first SMAC grant was I was able to conceptualize and work with different ways that I could really master making a composition and knowing what my personal language is. And since that time, and I've really developed that language, I've been able to get back to some of the things that I was developing earlier on, which was shaped canvases and installations of paintings that really maybe engulf the whole room. Because I'm also a teacher and I talk about art in that manner, a lot of times I'm giving advice to students, and I realize that very often that advice is something that I can bring back to myself. And I noticed that in a lot of my projects, there's the main goal and there's the big proposal of what you're doing, or the thrust of how you want to think. And because sometimes those things are so important, you might find yourself playing with other ideas or experimenting with materials. And more often than not, I've noticed that those side ventures maybe are interesting in themselves, and they allow, you know, a year or two of investigation in themselves. So you have both your general work and sort of secret lab stuff that you try out. I can't say enough how important the support of the Southwest Minnesota region, other colleagues, artists, administrators, has made an impact in my career, and has really helped me become an artist that's known throughout the state and the region. And I don't know if these things would have been possible if I didn't have this lifeline of support. The monetary part of it does help with buying materials that I wouldn't normally be able to afford, but it also is a recognition that I'm doing interesting work, or maybe needed work for the community. And I think in the end, that's what we're all looking for.
Hi, I'm Lisa Berg. I live and have a studio in New London, Minnesota. Conceptually, my work is kind of hovers between being really non-objective and abstract, but also being really rooted in some personal narratives. I think that if you're going to look at my work over the past decade, you're going to see pretty big leaps in terms of great creative growth, sync up with any time I was a recipient of a Southwest Minnesota Arts Council grant that year. So that's always been really an important thrust to my work. I identify as an artist within the Southwest Minnesota region. I have connected professionally throughout the state with people as an artist that lives and works in Southwest Minnesota, and that professional recognition is a direct result of funding and support from the Arts Council. The opportunities I have to expand into more challenging venues and larger venues, and the opportunity to scale up my work is a direct result of a project that leads to the successful creation of a project that leads to another opportunity that allows me to even grow further as an artist. And that's what this funding is really intended to do, and what it does. It supports an artist in their endeavor to expand and continually grow. When I had the opportunity to exhibit at the Rochester Art Center, I was really excited to activate that space and to think about how people experience that gallery. Oftentimes people imagine the gallery to be an experience that when you're in the gallery. And when I went for my initial gallery visit, I quickly realized that there was an entire bank of windows facing out over the city, and that conceivably you could make an artwork in the space that was visible both in the space and out on the street. And so that was what my research focused on. The result was a piece that hung where the majority of the activation or interest level of the piece faced outward and related to the different times of day and the sun and the way the sun hit the gilding. So that's how you could experience it from outside you could see that shimmering gold, or you could come into the space and walk around it. And so the piece itself was about architecture, about journey, about contemplation, and about moving about and understanding your role in the experience of a space.